All right, so today let's talk about sales funnels. This will be an in-depth free course for beginners where I will explain to you what a sales funnel really is and all the stuff that you need to know around it. I'm sure you came across lots of different videos from marketers or copywriters who, kind of talked about sales funnels, touched on that, but then you don't really have a clue what it really is. This is the course that will get you in depth. We're not just going to talk about some basic concepts. Of course, we're going to touch on that at first because we're going to make it beginner friendly. But then we're also going to go into advanced strategies, things that we use at Ty Lopez Brands, how we scale multi-million-dollar companies, how we set up the emails, how the emails interfere with our funnels, how we set up the funnels, how we write the funnels, positioning of your offer, all that jazz, all that good stuff for sales funnels. It's going to be in here, and I'm actually pretty excited because after watching this tutorial, after watching this free course, I actually want to equip you with everything that you need to know to start building a sales funnel from scratch right now for one of your clients. And we're even going to have some practical tips and exercises. So yeah, as I said, number one, we're going to go over the question, what are sales funnels, right? We're going to put a definition on it. We're going to take a look at different sales funnels and what they do. And then number two, how do I build a sales funnel to get maximum sales? That's interesting for you as a copywriter. It should be, because as a copywriter, you're not only a copywriter who just writes the copy. You're supposed to have a lot of knowledge on sales funnels, marketing, and all these different concepts as well, because only then you can really be a good copywriter, right? Because I'm going to give you an example. If you have to write for a cold audience, you're going to write completely different than if you're going to write for a warm audience, right? So just just as a quick example. And then number three, practical tips and exercises that you can use today to start building a sales funnel. All right, so let's jump right into it. So I know that this is a different type of video than what I usually upload, but I thought it would be pretty cool to have the whiteboard here so that I can show everything in detail and explain my thought process better. Maybe a good change from the usual editing that I have, as I also think this is much more blunt, right? I'm not scripting anything here. I don't like to script actually. I like to just, talk from what I think, and then I get some good thoughts on how to explain it to you. And I just like to do it as I go. I just think that's much better than, if I have everything scripted out perfectly and I just read off a script, right? So yeah, what are sales funnels? So I'm sure most of you have already seen this kind of graphic, which should describe a sales funnel where you have like a funnel and then people coming into it, right? And so to give a little bit more of context, in marketing, right, whenever you market something, think about when you heard of a new brand or something, or of a new influencer or someone like that. You first get aware of it, right? You first hear from it, and then you might think, well, that's pretty cool, or maybe not, whatever. But you're not, you don't hear from someone. You don't hear from, let's say, oh, do you know this new brand that does these new cool t-shirts? And then you buy from it straight away, right? That's very rarely, and that only happens mostly with word of mouth, right? Because when we have word of mouth, when we have other people tell us, right, this brand is pretty cool, then we trust them, and then we kind of, we already have so much trust that we just buy from it if we find it cool too. So first step is always awareness, right? No matter what it is. So I could hear from Adidas the first time, and then I'm aware, so I've heard of it, right? And then the second layer kind of is interest, right? Interest is where I've heard of it a couple times, and now it gets me interested, right? And I'll give you an example. You probably heard of Andrew Tate when he first entered the scene, and you weren't really familiar with him. You didn't know who the guy even was, what he does, what he says. You maybe seen one or two clips from him. Maybe your buddy showed him, like, it's like, "Hey, look at this guy, what he says and stuff." But you getting aware, and then after a few times you heard his name, oh, this is this guy, right? What did he say again? And then maybe your buddy shows you another clip and another clip, and then it gets you interested because some of the stuff he says, suddenly you start to relate or whatever. And then once you are aware, right, you go into a kind of a phase where now you kind of have a have made a choice. You kind of have a opinion on him, and basically when you have a good opinion on him, then you will basically follow what he says. Maybe you will buy his products, right? In that case, it's Hustlers University. Um, and then yeah, that's basically the last thing is when you get interested in the product, and then the last step is the action, right? So we can name them awareness, uh, awareness. Which one was this one again? Interest, I think. And then we have decision, and then we have action. So I don't know everything on top of my head. I need to look into my notes, but basically that's the idea of a sales funnel. And so as you can see, a sales funnel is a basic concept. It's not something like hardwired, like let's say a welcome sequence of an email marketing system. It's not like it's exactly 5 emails, and then the first email is gonna have this call to action. Second email is gonna have it's different. It's for everyone. It's different, right? I can go through the sales funnel of Andrew Tate within 1 year, and another person could go through his sales funnel within 2 weeks, right? So another person could, discover Andrew Tate and be like, it's kind of interesting. And then he goes down the rabbit hole, he Googles him, he watches more videos of him, and then he gets interested. He sees that he has, a course, then he gets interested in the course. And at the end of the day, he buys it after 2 weeks. And for me, it could be something like, oh yeah, it's a cool guy, but I kind of focus on my own shit. And like after a year, I notice, oh, he actually has a course. And then it's like, wait a minute. And then like, I'm going to do some research on the course, and then I'm going to join. So as I said, a sales funnel is a very basic concept. Now, how do we kind of uh, put that into marketing perspective? So the way you can do that is, and now I'm going to talk from a perspective of a copywriter, because that's the most interesting part for you. You want to know how you can use it as a copywriter, right? How it helps you writing good copy, getting good results for your clients, and whatever. A sales funnel really is the tool that you want to use as a copywriter to understand your target audience, right? The sales funnel is the number one tool that gives you lots of information and input on your target audience. And I'm going to give you an example. So let's say you have a client and he's a, I don't know, really good SMMA coach, right? Let's just take this as an example, right? He's a really good SMMA coach. He has like 50K followers on Instagram, 100K subscribers on YouTube. He has a decent, social media following, so he has organic reach already. So this means a lot of people already know him, right? And these people, we call them warm leads, right? People who are already warmed up, who had a few touch points with him. So it's like warm equals organic audience, right? I'm wearing a Nike pullover, right? Obviously, I'm a warm audience. If I go to a Nike store, I'm a warm audience. I'm gonna buy a Nike pullover just because I'm already warmed up. I know the brand. But if I'm someone from, I don't know, somewhere where people don't know Nike, I don't know if there's any place in the world, but if I don't know Nike, I go to a store, I'm a cold, I'm cold audience, right? And that's the opposite of warm audience. It's like when you see people for the first time, right? And that's most of the time that's through Facebook ads. I'm sure that like 90% of the people you see in your Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube ads before these videos, I'm sure 90% of them you have never seen before, right? That's because these ads, and you can do that. You can set up ads specifically targeting people who don't know you, who don't follow you, who haven't watched many videos of you or never watched a video of you. You can target those people in particular. So you can target cold audience, right? So cold is kind of the opposite. We have organic audience, and then we have, people who never heard from you, basically. It's like unknown, I would say. Unknown. So this is the difference between warm and cold audience. It's very important. And then it's also, between warm and cold isn't like black or white. It's more like cold is maybe like black, and then it's like the rest, the warm audience is gray. How warm are they? Yeah, they maybe heard of you one or two times, then they're not in the awareness stage anymore, they're in the interest stage. Or maybe they are even subscribed to your newsletter, they read a few emails of you, they watched a few YouTube videos of you, and then they're already more in the interest kind of stage, and they're like kind of aware, they know you, they kind of trust you, but it doesn't mean they will buy from you, right? But they're at least already one stage further, and they're warmer leads than other warm leads. And so writing for warm leads and for cold leads is extremely different. So I'll give you an example. With Tai Lopez Brands right now, we are selling an ebook that is creating wealth on social media, or how to create wealth on social media. Basically, the ebook we're selling only through Facebook ads. We're selling it only to cold audience, so people who probably have never heard from Tai before. And the reason for that is it is a very cheap offer. People who see that and they have the interest of making money with social media, creating a personal brand and whatever, they might buy it because it's just $7, right? But then once you get these people to buy, you have their email address, you have their phone number. Now they know who Tai Lopez is. They're learning from him, from his ebook. So they are it's kind of like an icebreaker. It gets them it skips the awareness stage, it gets them right into the interest stage, right? And the way we write copy in those Facebook ads targeting cold audience, so people who've never heard from Tai, is completely different than if we write to our daily email schedule. So I'll give you an example. So writing for cold audience is completely different. It's first of all, making the brand getting brand awareness, right? It's like people don't know who you are. You kind of have to do more work to introduce yourself so people understand who you are, what your goals are, right? So get people aware is important. Get people aware, and then introduce yourself, right? Now, what is always important is lead with benefit. You always want to lead with benefit in copywriting, no matter if it's a warm or a cold audience. But the colder the audience, the more you want to lead with benefit and kind of showcase the dream state and whatever to kind of hit their needs. If I'm writing to a warm audience, they're warmed up, they already trust me. They'll just be like, okay, what he dropped a new ebook, what is it all about? And then I just give them the features, right? Which is like, let's say features is something like features and benefits are two different things, by the way. We have features. Let's just clear this up, right? Real quick before we hop into the rest, right? Features could be something like, right, we just took our ebook, so let's take this as an example. 200 pages, that's a feature. That's something people get with the ebook. 50 chapters, right? Let's have some nice and round numbers. And then maybe like 45 cheat sheets, right? Maybe like 45 PDFs where people get extra tips. These are features. Benefits, right? And you can't touch on that in cold audience, but with cold audience, you want to lead with benefit. You want to outweigh the benefits from the features, right? You don't want to say like, hey, I'm Tai Lopez, I'm a entrepreneur, I do XYZ, whatever, for cold emails, in the copy for cold emails per se. So in our case, that's Facebook ads. But you want to say more something like, I'm Tai Lopez, then lead with authority so that people can, build trust with you. Also, another important lesson is authority plus social proof equals trust. Now this looks kind of shitty, but because I just put it here. Authority plus social proof equals trust. So for a cold audience, right, I might write something like, hey, I'm Tai Lopez, 9-figure entrepreneur. I'm managing multi-million-dollar companies, and I had over 200,000 students go through my programs, and I helped them uh, add additional income streams, and improve their life or whatever. We're leading. So the last of it was benefits, right? The last part of the sentence, add additional income streams. But it's like, hey, I'm Ty Lopez, right? Cold audience, get people aware, introduce yourself. Authority, I'm a 9-figure entrepreneur, right? More than 100 million. Authority, uh, I have multi-million dollar companies. Authority. Social proof. Over 200,000 people, students went through my programs. Social proof. Authority plus social proof equals trust. Now people trust you, because people always think in a social way. It's like 200 people, 200,000 people trust this guy to join his programs. Damn, right, it gets you thinking. And because that's just normal in the human brain. So social proof and authority, it's like, and he knows his shit. Like I can trust him because he knows his shit, because he has multi-million dollar companies, a 9-figure entrepreneur. Boom, they trust you. Now they don't trust you with all their lives, but at least they trust you so much that they will buy a $7 book from you. See where I'm going? So now you have authority, social proof equals trust. The rest you need, right? The rest of the sentence was, I helped 200,000 people benefit, dream state, whatever you want to call it. Add additional income streams, right? Add additional income streams, right? Sorry for my handwriting, but yeah. You could also be more specific, right? But overall, when you talk about such a big audience of 200,000 people, you can't be really specific. It's not like I can say I've helped over 200,000 people make 10K per month plus. First of all, that's insane. So it's also not really believable, right? If I say I've helped 200,000 people become a millionaire, I wouldn't believe it. You need to come up with something that is more like people can believe it, right? So, or you could say something like improve their lives. It's a little bit more vague, but basically, right, you want to touch on the core principles, you want to touch on the benefits. And so the benefits is what I said is the outcome, right? You always want to think about it like this. Benefits are always the outcome that you get. Features are more of the the material, the stuff, the hardwired stuff that you get. It's like there is no in between. It's like you get 200 pages, right? You get exactly 200 pages. You get 50 chapters. You get 45 cheat sheets, right? There's no room for interpretations. These are things that these are deliverables. Think of features as deliverables, right? Benefits are the outcomes that come with the deliverables, and you always want to have features and benefits. But as I said, for cold audience, it's more important to lead with the benefit, get people aware, and then introduce yourself in a way where you have authority and social proof. And now, obviously, I wouldn't write a Facebook ad for Ty Lopez that goes, "Hey, I'm Ty Lopez, and I'm a 9-figure entrepreneur." But it's more something like attention grabbing, because obviously Facebook ad copy one-on-one is like you want to have an attention grabbing hook, right? People don't have a high what's it called? They just scroll through TikTok, Instagram, everything a lot. So you want to grab their attention, right? They have a short attention span basically. You want to grab their attention, and then you want to go in detail and lead with the benefit, right? To keep them reading, and then kind of throw in the social proof and authority and things like that, right? So it's more something like, hey, look, Bitcoin isn't the new currency. It's actually your personal brand. Because right now the times are shifting, and I have built my personal brand in 2012. 10 years later, I've made more than $50 million from it. And I had more than 200,000 students go through my programs. I helped them build additional income streams and improve their lives. Now I have a book for only $7 where I teach everything I learned in these 10 years, and I give it to you for only $7. And then the book includes, and then you have a benefit stack, what we call it. It's like you add features and benefits. So let's say 200 pages of knowledge that will help you build a personal brand from scratch. 45 cheat sheets with actionable steps to make your first dollar with a personal brand, even though you have 0 followers right now. Things like that gets people interested, right? And so yeah, That's basically writing for cold audience. Let's go over into writing for warm audience. All right, before we jump into writing for warm audience, as I said, it's much more clear for cold audience, right? People who just don't know you. We went over it, right? People who are at the beginning of their sales funnels. Examples for this are, as I said, ads, Facebook ads. But another example would be cold emails, right? If you're a B2B company, like we are copywriters, if we send out cold emails to other businesses, they don't know us, right? So the same concepts apply, but we keep it much shorter. Why? Because people don't read through emails of people they don't even know if they're like a big ass fucking paragraph. I skip all of them. If I see a cold email in my DMs, I don't, or in my inbox, I don't know who he is, and it's like this long, I'm not reading through it. Why should I? It's just a waste of time, right? I don't value it because don't have trust with this person. But if it's such a short email, I'm like, well, okay, I'll give it a read. And then if you can build so much trust in this short email that I can reply to you or that I read more of your emails, that's what you want to do, right? Because then you have a small window where you can apply the same principles that I just taught you, throw in lots of authority and social proof to build a lot of trust. And then with cold emails, it's different because it's B2B. Now you want to have an offer or something, right? Because there is a point behind why you reach out to them in the first place. Most of the time, it's because you want to work with them. And so we have cold emails, we have ads, where basically the same principles apply. But now we have warm leads. And then the next step is hot leads, right? So as I said, we get people from, let's actually take both types of funnels. We take B2B, we take B2C. B2C, you send out, you run Facebook ads to a cold audience, people who never knew you or never heard of you. And then maybe, right, the barrier of entry for cold people should be low. So you might hit them with the free, free training or something, right? You know this from other people, right? They have this free training, they have this, whatever lead magnet, free ebook, they have something that they give you for free, so that you give them their email address, and then it gets you one step closer into being warmed up. Because an email address is probably one of the most important assets from a business, right? A good email list, because through email you can always sell so much stuff. And so now you're kind of one step closer, right? After you committed to a free training, because it's like, oh well, it's just free, I might check it out if you're interested in that space. And the way they write is different, because now you're warmed up. Now you maybe receive weekly emails, you might read them, you might even follow them on Instagram and YouTube. You kind of see what they're doing, kind of. Now you're warmed up, now you know them, right? Doesn't mean you will buy from them now, but you know them, you're warmed up. And if there is a need for the products that they sell inside of you, so let's say I'm a copywriter, right? I sell um, a course, an in-depth course for beginner level copywriters on how to get clients through Upwork, even with no experience. And I run Facebook ads for a free training. And so if you are a copywriter, right, and you want to get more clients, right, then you would be interested to watch that free training on how to get clients through Upwork. So um, picking the right type of audience obviously is, important, but that's for another topic. And then it gets you a little bit closer to the warmed up audience. And now, you watch the free training, you might not buy the program yet, but then maybe you follow me on YouTube, you watch more YouTube videos where I tell you how to get clients, how to write better copy. I give more value as a copywriter. And now you might think, well, this is all cool, but I wonder, what I can do. Maybe I can buy some, maybe his program, has more secrets, more strategies that I can use to sign clients, because I really want to get those clients, right? And then if people have this need and you solve this need, it's always like this, as a copywriter, you're solving problems, right? But as any type of business solves some kind of problems to their customers. The problem that I solve for copywriters, because it's my target audience, is getting clients, right? Because they don't get clients, and that's the problem for them. They want to make money. So I solve that problem by giving them strategies that I've used to sign clients through Upwork, right? And so now um, we have a need within our warmed up audience. People know us and they have a need. And the more they know us and the more they trust us, the hotter they get, the warmer they get, and eventually they get hot. And if you have a hot lead, someone who's been following you for months or years, watch every video of you. It's kind of like a fan. You can call a hot lead kind of like a fan, right? Someone who's like a fan of a football club. um, they will support you. And a fan of a football club, he doesn't think twice whether he needs that new jersey of the new season. He just buys it because he's a fan, because it's like it's emotional attachment to it. That's what you want to have, hot leads, because then if you have a product that you want to offer, this will lead to sales. Now, warm audience, you can sell to them too, but hot audience are the ones who buy straight away. You don't even need a fancy sales page for them. You need a fancy sales page for the warm audience to get them over the edge of buying because they're not sure yet. All right. So it's important to differentiate. So let's talk about writing for warm/hot audience, right? Writing for warm slash hot audience. We'll stay with the example of Ty's ebook because I really like it, and it's a true example of a big company, so it will teach you a lot. Basically, we had the cold audience, right? And let's take the perspective of our ideal customer. He saw this Facebook ad, or he maybe saw it on social media, right? Where Ty talks about this book. Most of the time, if you have cold audience, they will either, as I said, you will either get them into your sales funnel through Facebook ads, cold emails, or another part is social media. So if they stumble upon your social media profile and then they follow you, they didn't know you before, but now they know you, right? So they get more warmed up. It's like cold audience. But just for an example, we hit someone with the Facebook ad. They bought the ebook because it was really cheap and they were interested in building or creating wealth, or making money with social media, right? So we solved one of the problems, but now they know us, they trust us, they already bought from us. They will be much more likely to buy from us in the future, right? This is not my first piece that I have from Nike. So that's why writing for warm audience is different. People already know you. You don't need to. For example, warm audience are people in your on your email list. They receive your emails, they read through your emails, they watch your YouTube videos, they watch your social media content, they follow you, they watch your podcasts, right? These are all warm audience. So they listen to the stuff, to the content that you're already putting out, right? So the stuff that you preach, they already learned. And so with that in the back of the mind, you can write much better than if people don't even know you. You don't need to introduce yourself anymore. You don't need to throw in lots of authority, right? Because people already know and trust you. It's more it's a little bit different, right? So for the warm audience, for example, you can go heavier on features, right? And let's stay congruent with our sales funnel, right? So we had this first awareness stage. We had people who don't know you, they know you. And then, that's kind of a sales funnel is simply the process of a potential customer going through a journey until they buy. And this journey has so many different parts and ways that lead to the sale. It's simply not really tangible, but it's basically, like, as I said, the basic concept, right? They might get 5 emails from you and then they see a social media post and then in the next email they buy. Or they might get 20 emails from you and then they see 2 social media posts and then they get hit by a retargeting ad, right? Because now they're part of your whole ecosystem. And then they buy through the Facebook ad because they still know you, but maybe the Facebook ad was the one that puts them over the edge. And so you can go heavier on features. People already know you. Now they want to know what they're getting if you have an offer for them, right? You still should include benefits, however. You always should include benefits. But yeah, simple as that. You can go heavier as well on brand voice. Also important, right? People know you, people know how you talk, people know how you write. You can go heavier on brand voice. And the thing about personal brands is people fall in love with the person behind the brand and not with like the offer or the brand itself or whatever, right? So showing your personality through all your sales funnel things, channels, is important so you can nail brand voice, for example, right? So hot or warm audience is much easier to convert because they already trust you, but same principles still apply. Authority is never bad to use, right? Just to remind people, social proof, even for hot or warm audience, is important, right? Showing people that, maybe send maybe a testimonial, so that you get this guy who's like warmed up but not hot. He knows you, he might be like on the edge of buying from you, but then he sees a testimonial email, right? An email where you write about another student who went from one situation to a better one through going through your programs, and then they decide to buy because that resonates with them even more. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean you don't need to use authority or social proof, but it just means that it's easier for you to convert and you're not relying too heavily on that. You shouldn't focus too much on it, right? And then, as I said, importance for warm and hot audience is to cover all of your channels, right? Cover all channels. So what I mean by this is, you want to cover social media, Facebook ads, email, SMS, everything you can. The more the better. And so that you hit your warm audience from every angle, because then you can turn the warm audience into a hot audience and into instant buyers, right? The more touch points you have with your potential customer, the better. So if they're only subscribed to your email newsletter, try to get them from the email newsletter to follow you on Instagram, or try to get them to follow you on YouTube, right? And this is an important concept. I will actually draw this here so that you can understand it better, right? Because this is actually the most important thing that you will probably learn during this whole free course, is that a sales funnel comes down to a big marketing, I like to call it ecosystem. Ecosystem. What I mean by that is, right, I already touched on that, but let's just make it clear on the whiteboard, is we have our potential customer here, right? This is our potential customer. Now he's in the middle. We want to hit him from every angle, right? So if he's subscribed to our email list, great. That's one channel, email subscriber, right? Maybe he's subscribed to our YouTube, great. YouTube subscriber, right? And just the way I just explained it, right? We don't know where he is really coming from, so that's why we need to hit him from every angle. And I'm going to give you an example right now. Maybe he came from a Facebook ad with a free lead magnet, so he checked out your free training and he subscribed to your email list. Now he's on your email list. Doesn't matter, or doesn't mean he follows you on all your social media profiles, right? So how do we fix that? We fix that by, for example, when he joins, we're having a welcome sequence where we hit him with emails that promote some of our YouTube videos. Boom. There you go. And now you send him an email being something like, hey, I just uploaded a new YouTube video on sales funnels. You might want to check it out. And then he checks it out. He watches your YouTube video. Then he subscribes to your YouTube channel, right? And then, let's take Instagram, right? Obviously, he doesn't know you on Instagram, but maybe in that YouTube video, you'd be like, hey, by the way, at Kevin's Copy Converts, that's my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I give much more value there. I give other content there. Might be interested to you. Check it out in the description down below. Boom, now you're taken from YouTube subscriber to Instagram. And the more of these channels you can have a connection with one of these leads, the better your chances are of making more sales, right? And ideally, these channels should always interfere with each other. What I mean by that is maybe you have someone is not subscribed to your email list, but he came from Instagram, organic content. He just saw your post and then he followed you. Doesn't mean he's subscribed to your email list or to your YouTube channel. So how do we change that? Well, we create a YouTube, an Instagram maybe story or a video where we say, hey guys, by the way, I just uploaded a new YouTube video, right? Check it out. And then he goes from Instagram to YouTube. Now he's subscribed to your YouTube. Maybe in that YouTube video, you tell people, hey, I have a free training, right? Check it out. It's in the description. And then they go to the free training, they subscribe to your email newsletter, right? So it's always this ecosystem, it's always this multiple channel thing, and it's always capturing as many leads as possible with as many channels as possible, right? And then we have, you know, other social media. I won't go too much in detail. I think I already made it pretty clear. And by the way, I think this is stuff that I never heard like anyone really teach when I was watching these types of free tutorials on YouTube. This is literally stuff that I teach to people who I mentor, so people who I really give high high quality value tips. This is stuff that I will have in my monthly program, right? I will have a big monthly membership program where I teach you the ins and outs of copywriting, sales funnels, marketing, plus outreach, plus sales. It's going to be a big all-in-one program for copywriters. So they can go through it, they can get the coaching they need, right? Weekly live coaching calls, daily copy review sessions, monthly challenges, and just overall a community that supports you, plus course material and assignments, so that you are covered and you are going to be an expert copywriter without even having written any copy for a client in the past, right? That's what I'm working on right now. And this is the stuff that I would teach in that program. So giving this away for free, honestly, I just want to give away, right? I know people who, there are many people, and I get those DMs a lot, of people who just don't have a lot of money, right, to buy courses and all that stuff. And I understand that. And so that's why I also want to give some value free on YouTube. But I just wanted to make it, I just wanted to make it clear, that this is advanced stuff right there, right? We went from the basics to now the advanced stuff. This is how you make your clients money. This is how you make yourself money, right? If you're serious about your business. So as I said, we have this ecosystem. They should interfere with each other. And now, obviously, right, these should interfere with each other, and then these interfere with each other. But let's keep it simple. Everything should interfere with the other part, right? And then we have email list, YouTube. Maybe if you're like Ty Lopez, you have like SMS. So you have their phone number, and you're going to be like, hey, watch my new free training. They click on it, they go to an opt-in page, subscribe to your email list, right? And so you have all of these channels. You have this big ecosystem, which basically that is a sales funnel, right? And then now that is just the basic concept of it, right? As I said, the goal is to capture the leads on every of these platforms, send them from YouTube to email to SMS to Instagram to whatever. And while you do that, right, which seems effortless, it's like subscribe to my YouTube channel. Oh, follow me on Instagram. Oh, that's why you see those people in YouTube videos, by the way. Oh, follow me on Instagram. And then on Instagram, they'll be like, yo, watch my new YouTube video. And then on YouTube, they'll be like, yo, I got a new free training. Check it out. They are doing this right here with you guys. And now you know. And I do the same, but because honestly, it is not even it's not even something bad, right? Because for me personally, I do this long form content on YouTube, right? And if I have someone on Instagram, I don't post this stuff on Instagram. I want them to go over from Instagram to YouTube so they can learn more. It's not like I'm just selling all the time, right? We also give free value. We send out emails that only give free value. Of course, we send out emails where we sell our programs, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not like selling is something bad, right? I feel like in our generation, a lot of people feel like, oh, that's too salesy. They just want to sell us stuff. They only want to make money. They want to make money, yes, but they also solve a problem, right? It's not like they're selling you shit. I mean, I can say with all my confidence that the programs and the stuff that I sell will only be stuff from my own experience and stuff that I know that works. And so I won't sell some shitty stuff. if I sell something, right? I give a lot of free value on YouTube, Instagram, and so I want people to see that stuff. And yeah, that's just how it works. And so, as I said, that in and of itself is kind of the basic understanding of a sales funnel. And now it gets more advanced with, for example, you might have um, a certain YouTube video, right? I'll give you an example. My first YouTube video, or like the how to start copywriting in 2024, you can see it on my YouTube channel. In that YouTube video, I pitched to my first free lead magnet, right? And oh yeah, by the way, community is also big. A lot of people have communities. It's important. Community is a huge ecosystem, and it's a huge way on nurturing leads and building a great relationship with them, because this is all about building relationship with your potential customer. And so let's say people see my YouTube video on how to start copywriting in 2024. Or let's even go one step further. I have an Instagram reel where I say, hey, do you want to know how to make money as a student right now, like working 3 hours a day, and you make like multiple $1,000s per month? Because I have the ultimate side hustle. I do it like this, I write these 3 emails, I get $150, and maybe take me like 2 or 3 hours. And in my new YouTube video, I'll show you how you can start copywriting, because it's called copywriting. I sent them from Instagram to my YouTube. Now they watch the YouTube video. In my YouTube video, I pitch them to my email list, because I'd be like, okay, now you watch the 3 steps on how to start copywriting. And if you're a beginner, you might be wondering what really good copy looks like. So that's why I put together a free swipe file that you can download if you click the link below. Boom, they're part of my email list. And now inside of my email list, right, inside of the, if they opt in for the swipe file, I can set up a automated email sequence that hits them with, 3 emails. And maybe the first email they receive right after opting in is something like, hey, here's your free swipe file, right? Because that's just normal. They expect to get it via email. But then one day after that, 24 hours, I might ask them like, hey, what is your opinion? How do you like the swipe file? Give me some feedback. I go for some interaction, right? And I also want to have some feedback if they like it or not, right? It's important. But then the third email could be something like, hey, by the way, I have a community with other copywriters or other beginner level copywriters like you. And we do lots of cool stuff in the community. We have weekly challenges, we have copy review sessions, we help each other get better at copywriting, we learn from each other. If you're interested, just check it out. And now this is where it gets more advanced, right? Because this is a automated sequence that sends people to another channel. And then maybe in my Discord community, maybe they see a post where I sold my program, and then through that they buy the program, and then we get the conversion over the community, right? So or maybe in the community they talk to someone and it's be like, hey, by the way, how is this Upwork Domination Starter Kit, this program, whatever. And he's like, yeah, it's really good, I have it, you should get it. And then boom, you make the sale there. So that's really it. And if you want to build sales funnels for your clients, it's always about building out this big ecosystem. And on the back end of this ecosystem, right, is always copywriting. That's why copywriting is so important. On the back end of this whole ecosystem is copywriting, because you need to know how to write for your email subscribers, how to write for your general list, but also for the welcome sequence, let's say, because these are colder audience, as we went over already. You want to know how to write for your SMS. You want to know how to write for your community, because these are people you maybe engage in more frequently, right? So you want to be a little bit more authentic, a little bit more brand voice heavy, rather than in the welcome sequence, you don't want to be as brand voice heavy. And then, on the back end of your Instagram posts, of your YouTube videos, the strategy of it all is marketing, but on the back end there's lots of copywriting going on. So it's like marketing and copywriting, and you need to understand this to make more money for your clients and to be a better copywriter. All right. So as a basic task, right, we went over the most advanced stuff, all of the theoretical stuff. I want to make it practical. I want you to learn stuff, but I also want you to apply stuff. So now this is the things we're going to do, right? we're gonna have 3 practical exercises. I want you to, number 1, subscribe to at least 5 email newsletters of big brands slash influencers, right? So what I mean by that, it's not that hard, right? If you go to a e-commerce brand, you will, most of the time, if you look for the newsletter subscribe form or whatever, you will find it. You will put your email in that, and then you will subscribe to the newsletter, and then you will have an eye on your email inbox and look out for what emails they send you. Because first of all, most of the time, for people to give away an email, there needs to be some exchange of value. So that's why people like to give free trainings or whatever. With big brands, with e-commerce brands, that's an example. They give you 5 or 10% discount codes, so that coupon codes, so that you sign up for the email newsletter. So every niche has its own kind of free, but it's always the same idea. It's an exchange for free value in exchange for a email, right? For me, for example, as an info product business or a personal brand, I give you a free training in exchange for your email, right? As I said, e-commerce brand might give you 10% discount code, right? So when you open the first email you get, you will find your 10% discount code. When you open your first email from me, you will find the link to your free training. A SaaS company, right? Completely different business, right? They might offer you a 1-month free membership for your email. I see this a lot instantly in all these platforms. You put in your email, they send you an email, right? And then it's like, here, log in here to get your 1-month free membership. So as I said, it's always an exchange of free value. So what do you do now? You subscribe to at least 5 newsletters. You can pick whatever business. If you're interested in the e-commerce niche, pick 5 e-commerce brands. If you're interested in info product niche, pick 5 big influencers who probably sell courses or whatever, right? It's up to you. But what you're going to do is you're going to have an eye on the inbox and then see what type of emails they send you. And you will do this for the next 5 to 10 days, because a lot of these companies, or most of these companies, will have sequences. And by watching out on your email inbox from the exact emails that you get from those companies, you will learn what type of emails they send out, how they talk to you. You can study their copy in their emails. For example, first email will be, hey, here's your discount code, and then you can use it. Maybe second email will be a reminder for the discount code. And then the third email, right, will be something like, follow us on social media. Big brands use the same concept as, info product businesses as we do it as we as copywriter do it. They also use this big ecosystem. They will also send you an email like, hey, follow us on social media, because they understand these multiple touch points, right? They understand that. And so subscribe to at least 5 email newsletters of big brands or influencers, and study their copy, right? Or study their emails. You can take notes in a notebook, whatever. Number two is a little bit more advanced. Number 2 is, you're gonna come up with, let's put it that way. You're gonna come up. Let's say we are an SMMA coach, right? This is just hypothetical. This is for a task for you. As an SMMA coach, I have a free training that shows people how to build an SMMA as a beginner. And then I also, on the back end, have a course that helps people scale to 10K per month with their SMMA. And you, as the copywriter, right now for the exercise, you're gonna build an opt-in page, right? An opt-in page for the free training. Jesus, my handwriting is off. Build an opt-in page for the free training, because from the free training, you want to push people, right? They get into your sales funnel. You want to push people to make the sale. And usually after the free training, they will already see the sales page. And if they don't buy, that's fine. But now they're part of your ecosystem. And now After you build that opt-in page, you're going to write a welcome email, a welcome sequence with 5 emails, an opt-in welcome sequence, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it welcome sequence. You're going to write a welcome email sequence with 5 emails. And I'm going to give you the order of the emails, right? First of all, they get the free training and you make them aware, right? What I mean by that is, right, something like, hey, here's your free training, have fun with it. Let me know how you like it. By the way, I'll be sending out more emails to your list, to your inbox. Make sure you're aware, or make sure you have an eye on your inbox. The things that I teach in my free trainings, I will teach you through email as well. I'll give a lot of more free value and content. So have an eye on your inbox. Make them aware. Remember, first step of the funnel. First step of the funnel. They were cold before. You want to make them aware. Now we make them aware. Second email is going to be a reminder email, right? And I'm going to tell you the idea behind the reminder email. Ideally, we will have the free training in a sales page. And in that sales page, we will have the offer for the program, for the actual paid program. And so if people watch the free training, they get to the sales page. And maybe they watch through the whole free training, or maybe they just scroll through and then they see the offer and buy it. If they don't buy it at the first time when you sent them the free training, send them a reminder. It sends them back to the free training. It sends them back to the sales page. It gives you a second run, a second chance for that lead to check out the free training, to watch it, and to maybe buy, because now they're on the sales page. So this is highly important. This is not a reminder email. This is like a sales email, but it should be written like a reminder email. Number 3. Now you're going to hit them with the social media email. Social media email. What I mean by that is be like, hey, I just recently dropped a new YouTube video on how to start copywriting, or like for this SMMA guy, on how to start an SMMA with $0 investment. Go check it out. Boom, you link them to your YouTube channel. Fourth, community email. Hey bro, we have this community of other beginner level SMMA owners. We have people there who haven't made $1 with SMMA, who's their first day with SMMA inside of the program, inside of the community. We have people who are already making 10, 20, 30K per month. And we're all learning from each other, sharing value, and make sure you join. Community email. You get them into the community. Number 5, sales. And now we're being aggressive. You see where we're going? We have this opt-in page. They watch the free training. They're warmed up now. They're not cold anymore. Even more warmed up because we have more touch points. Even more warmed up because we gave them the social media. Even more warmed up if they joined the community. And now we're going to go for the sale. Now you're going to be like, hey, bro, by the way, I have this SMMA course. Helps you go from beginner to 10K per month with SMMA. Check it out. And then with doing that, we have 3 sales email within a 5-email welcome sequence, technically sales emails, and only one of them is a sales email. You see the perceived, you see how your potential customer perceives you now? They don't perceive you as overly salesy, but you are. Kinda. You're not overly salesy, but you kinda are. So that is your exercise. Subscribe to at least 5 of these email newsletters and study their emails. This is important. You do this first, because then, right, you're gonna have lots of input on how to do this. And as we are doing it for SMMA coaches, I'd highly recommend you do other, subscribe to other coaches, info product businesses, whatever, everything that you can find that can help you. And then you're going to build an opt-in page for the free training. It's not going to be a long opt-in page, 3 to 5 sections with a headline, with a long form copy, with a benefit stack, and all of that stuff, right? You're going to build that. It can also be only like 2 or 3 sections. It's an opt-in page. It's not that big. It only should get people to give their email address, right, with the form. And you can do that by starting a free membership at MailChimp. So you can have a free account on MailChimp, and that allows you to build opt-in pages for free. and also send out emails, right? And you can practice. You can just create an account and practice. You don't need to send it anywhere, right? Create it for yourself. Then you have this hypothetical client, right? So just to practice, it gives you good practice with using MailChimp. So being familiar with a software, with like an actual email marketing software and stuff like that, and a page builder. And it allows you to make it more realistic, because now you're actually setting up real opt-in pages and not just writing copy in a Google Doc, you know? And then you're gonna set up these 5 emails. You're gonna write them. You can write them in a Google Doc. It doesn't matter. 24 hours after each email, boom, that's it. That's your homework for today. And yeah, man, honestly, uh, I've put so much into this video, so I would really appreciate a sub and a like. And I mentioned lots of different things. I also kind of want to be salesy a little bit here at the end. I talked about my Upwork Domination Starter Kit. So if you want to learn how to get more clients through Upwork, I have the free training there. You can opt in for the free training, and then after that, you will get the free training, but then also the offer of the Upwork Domination Starter Kit, where you can buy the course. It's a really good program. Can highly recommend it to you. You know, I signed Ty Lopez and other high ticket clients without hopping on a single sales call through Upwork, and I share the exact process in that course. And yeah, man, honestly, I think this is everything. If you're a beginner right now, right, first day with copywriting, 1 month in, 3 months in, doesn't matter. I think this is something that can already get you really, really far. So yeah, show much love in the comments. You know, hit the like button as always, and subscribe so that you can watch more of these, or you don't miss more of these free courses and trainings that I will share. And so yeah, really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.